It's time for all your binge-worthy pop culture news. Welcome to Up and Adam.
Hey. Good morning. Good morning. Oh my gosh, guys, I'm thinking of my wake up and morning show tomorrow. Guys, good evening. Happy Sunday. There's a lot going on. This obviously was the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City finale, which I cannot believe that this season is over. But to be honest with you, with 20 episodes, if you really break it down, that's 5 months of Salt Lake City we got, which is crazy. So we know that we have a 3-part reunion coming. If you guys haven't checked out the reunion trailer, you guys can go to bravotv.com. I also did a recap on it. I think it's going to be explosive. This finale for me, which I want to ask Jason before I bring him up, what would you guys rate it, a 1 to 10? I would probably give it a solid 6. It didn't take me all the way there, but I do want to ask you guys in the live chat as well. Also, guys, let me see who's in the room. I see that we have over 100 people in the room just to kick us off, which is amazing. Hi, guys. Welcome. 100 people in the room. Don't forget to smash that like button. It's a subscribers-only live chat, so if you're not subscribed, get subscribed. We're going to bring Jason up. Jason doesn't have his camera on. Jason will be leaving for Idaho tomorrow on Monday, and he'll be gone until Friday because he's going to go spend time with his family. And unfortunately, Jason and his family have lost his beautiful, amazing grandmother today, and she just had the biggest spirit. She was so sweet. So we're going to send all the love and positive vibes over to Jason and his family, but he was still able to make it tonight. Let's bring him up, even though at any point, if he wants to go, absolutely. Hi.
Hey.
Can
you hear me okay?
We can hear you okay.
Awesome.
You are a talking, floating avatar.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I know avatars aren't very popular, but you know.
Hey, we'll take it. So, of course, everybody, thank you for being so sweet in here. Val, Sherry, Kelly, thank you. Murray, thank you guys. So, Lit Real Red, I wanted to ask you, Jason, to kick this off because I want to keep this light because we know that you're leaving tomorrow, but I want to keep this about the Salt Lake City reunion and obviously say we all love you so much. Getting into it for the reunion because we always anticipate like a crazy explosive reunion, right? Like I'll never forget the time when I was, at SUR and they were filming the Vanderpump Rules season 2 reunion and Lisa Vanderpump walked out and said, "We're not going to get another season. They're not doing anything." And she was really upset and she needed the producers to go in and like correct whatever they weren't doing in order to secure them another season. Did this give you what you were looking for and what would you rate it?
I'm going to have to agree with you on the 6 part.
Okay.
I'm going to say it kind of left me, I just expected more for this finale for sure. Yeah, I don't know. Salt Lake, this season 2 really just didn't do it for me either. We started with what we thought was going to be this huge, thing with Shah, and then we quickly shifted to Mary, and then we have this Lisa and Meredith confrontation. The whole season has been a hit or miss. For the first 7 episodes, it was kind of a bore.
Then it was the first really 9.
Huh?
We didn't get the Shah thing until the whole Sprinter van thing until episode 10.
No, I know. It was just kind of like I don't know. I really still have high hopes for season 3. I hope.
Okay. And to be fair too, I feel like we had like 2 or 3 different seasons like smashed into one. We had Angie Harrington at the beginning. I think we all forgot about that.
Forgot about her.
What?
Totally forgot about her.
See, that's what I'm saying is like we forgot about Angie Harrington. We forgot about the caterer. There was so much that happened before this. We, of course, could not forget about the Meredith Brooks Marks, Shah saga with the social media because that has continued throughout the whole season. But this is one of the things that I think that you even said you appreciate about Real Housewives of Miami, except Adriana and Larsa, but is the fact that they're able to kind of get through these situations that are pissing them off and they're able to move on, conflict resolution immediate.
Yeah. And also it, sometimes when we were watching Salt Lake City, it just felt a little dark at times and a little tumultuous, like too much of that. And even today, just in the background, I don't know why Ladies of London is always playing on our television, but I was like, I missed this. Like where are these women? Where's this kind of show? It just doesn't exist. But
right.
I was excited to finally finish and get some sort of resolution at the end of this. Although we're going to have to wait for more resolution with the Ladies of Salt Lake until the reunion.
Right. I'm definitely excited to get through, I want to see what this looks like, but let's just kind of kick off this whole situation on how we started. Obviously, we see that Lisa Barlow and John, her husband, are going to check out the venue and the event space for Vida Tequila. I thought it was pretty interesting. And by the way, guys, less than 6 minutes in, 150 in the room, smash that like button. But I thought it was pretty interesting that so Jason and I, I'm not going to name names, but we sat down with a housewife, and you guys can't guess who, because we've sat down with a couple of housewives at this point. But they were telling us that whatever or whoever gets to host the vacation for that season or the finale party, it's such a big deal. And the producers pick the one who they feel like can really bring it. And they want to honor that housewife, and they want to support whatever they have going on. Like, for example, this was sort of a Vida Tequila party with her brand all over it. So it really goes to show you that it kind of seems like Bravo and the producers were rewarding Lisa for her time on the show this season in order to give her a whole Vida Tequila sponsored party.
No, I thought it was great. And I'm really in love with those crystal encrusted, bottles.
Yes. Yes. Okay. So as they're setting up the party, I thought it was funny that she says, "Love that. I love this. I love this. Love this." And they count it, shady Bravo editing. They counted it 16 times. But let's move on. We see Mary Cosby playing a little bit of mini golf with her son. They do a $100 bet. Okay. It's not, he loses. She's like, "I'm not paying you $100. Keep it moving." It was kind of like B-roll at this point. Then we see Jen Shah, and she is packing her house. Now, she's downsizing from a 9,500 square foot house to about a 4,500 square foot house. She said that she's cutting that in half. And when she invited over her movers to at least just check out the closet space, check out what they have going on and what to pack, the movers look at her and they're like, "This is going to be a lot." She ends up explaining, which in normal circumstances, you probably wouldn't explain this, but she's explaining to her movers, who we can obviously tell have moved for her in the past, that she has a $2 million retainer for her legal fees and the trial and the court date and everything that she has going on. So she really needs to significantly downsize. Now, they were like, "Okay, we understand. What do we need to look at?" And they finally quote her for $8,000 to $10,000, which at first I was thinking about it, but do you remember when Jason and I moved here from Los Angeles, we got a quote, and mind you, it was moving across the country from Los Angeles to South Florida, but we got one quote for like $7,000, and it was literally a bed, a couch.
That was ridiculous. I mean, we obviously got a way lower quote, and at least we're not attaching a U-Haul to the back. Can you imagine Jen Shah attaching a U-Haul to the back of her car, driving it down to her 4,500 square foot home? I don't think that would have happened.
No.
It's a lot of stuff. It's a lot of shit. She's got a lot of stuff in that closet.
She has more stuff in that closet than we packed in our entire apartment.
Yeah.
But, you could see, the whole situation, like it was interesting to see. I'm curious to see, like you keep saying that you want to get to season 3 at this point, and I want to see season 3 only because I want to see the new house. What does it look like? Where is everyone? We all know that, a few of them rent, which is okay. If you rent your house, it's not a big deal. But like Meredith Marks, we've seen that she's had 2 houses now in 2 seasons. I'm curious if she'll have a third for season 3. Jen Shah, she's also had 2 houses in 2 seasons. Mary Cosby, we know that she inherited her house. Okay, we get that part. Heather Gay, it seems like she owns her house. Lisa Barlow, you always question and say, "Why don't we see any families or photos of the family?" And then Whitney,
she likes, I actually watched a tour of Lisa's home on Bravo, how she loves everything minimalistic and stuff like that. So I get it, because I mean, we don't have a shit ton of photos of our family here. We like everything pretty minimal as well. So I get that, but yeah, that she's been the only consistent householder, right? Besides Heather and Whitney.
Right. No, it seems that way. But I mean, okay. Hold on. Let's move on though. Hi, Lisa.
Adam, let's be honest though. Like, a lot of this episode was just kind of, we were waiting, I think, for the party the entire time.
Well, we waited until 38 minutes in for the party. And to bring us to our next point, we got Heather Gay, and we see Heather has like this kind of mini memorial or service for her dad, because it's been a year since he passed, but it was delayed due to the pandemic. And we see where she's talking about the fact that her brother showed up, both of them, but her sister didn't show up due to the loyalty to other non-Mormon family members. And she feels like, it would be, in their minds, a compromise of their morals and their faith. But what I thought was interesting, which, by the way, the fact that they came together and they put together this service and they were like, you know what, we need to stick together as a family unit. This should just go to show you that life is short, which is so important, you know. And for her, I think it was really like a mind F for her mother to show up, who's not even acknowledging her, but she shows up for what reason? To give, I mean, I think you had a good reason for this, but she hugs the brother, doesn't even acknowledge Heather. She sees the cameras and then she just gets back in her car and she leaves. But what's
I really
the point
think
of
it
showing
was,
up?
listen, when we first saw her show up, I was like, okay, this is weird. And then I sat there and I thought about it. I'm like, I don't think she wanted to be on camera.
Right.
That was it.
But wouldn't she have known about that ahead of time if they invited her? I'm sure Heather said this is a filmed event.
Yeah. I mean, I would hope she would have told her. And that's probably maybe it wasn't, because they have conflicting views. Maybe it was because it was a filmed thing, and it did seem a little I don't know. It just was a very weird thing. This whole celebration of life.
I agree with that. Our Petrick said, it sucks that her mom showed up and didn't talk to her. And then Esther Ferdinand said, it's so sad that religion breaks a family up like that. And guys, I think that's, it's true. And I don't want to sit here and go in on religion or church or anything like that. I've said this from day one since I've come on and talked about Salt Lake City with Jason. Jason's family, he has experienced Jewish members in his family, also Mormon family members. So he's come from different backgrounds. Whereas my family, I think we went to church like 5 times and then we would, say grace and pray. And my mom always expressed the importance of that, but we weren't actually a part of a congregation or a church. So
lucky you.
No, don't say that. But I feel like you hear a lot of amazing stories about, like, for you especially, how the church really came together and helped your father when he was sick. And they helped you guys. And I think those are incredible stories that people need to hear. But then you hear some really sad stories about, like Heather Gay and her time within the Mormon church and how it's kind of broke apart her family. So we
even have friends, who we were introduced by, someone on the show too, who, are like us together, and they're gay and they don't feel like they have the best support. And, that's another sad part about religion, even though that's coming around. The Mormon church is trying to somehow change their stance on that. I don't know how that's going, but yeah, religion, it's a two-edged sword.
Right. All right. SKR said, prosecutors dropped charges against Robert Cosby Jr. on Friday, the son of former Real Housewives of Salt Lake City star Mary Cosby. Cosby Jr. was charged with 2 misdemeanor counts. Yes. I did a video on that today too. So technically he had a girlfriend who came over to their house, and the girlfriend was underage. It was like one of those situations where he just hit 18 and the girlfriend was, I think, like 16 or 17. So they went to high school together, obviously, but she didn't tell her family where she was going. And I think that, I'm sure there's more to the story. Maybe she got into a spat with her family or something. But since she was over at the house without the parents' permission, they were accusing Mary and her son of holding her there, and pretty much they got charges for it, or charges were pursued, but the charges were dropped against Robert Cosby Jr. I'm trying to be so careful with how I say this because I don't want to get in trouble. They were dropped against Robert Cosby Jr., but Mary still has a court date in May. They still could be dropped against Mary as well, though. If they dropped it against him, maybe they will against her too. I don't know how they're going to. It's an
interesting situation. It seems like the only thing Mary can hold is her mannequins. So I don't know if that story seems
okay. You don't get to be shady when you're an avatar. Is this the purse girl? I don't know if it's the purse girl or not, honestly.
Hey, she's got some nice purses, so I'd be careful who you're accusing of holding you down.
Okay. So let's move on. Oh, Meredith. Meredith looks so pretty here. Guys, 250 in the room. Smash that like button. Hey. So we see Meredith. She's doing a shoot for GLAAD, and I thought that was really special. She's doing the shoot for GLAAD to show off her jewelry line, which in this photo, you obviously can't see the jewelry, but it is there. And in this photo, you also don't see her daughter, Chloe, or her son, Brooks, but they were also there. If you guys watched the episode, you see August. I mean, that's as close, honestly. I don't get along with August anyways. August Getty right there on the left of her. And this was this was a big moment for her to be in GLAAD. That's huge, right?
No, I think it's amazing. And I like how Meredith states what equality is and what she thinks it should be. And I love when she talked about how everyone's asking her when her men's line is coming out. but she's like, my jewelry is for everyone. You don't have to be a specific gender to enjoy it. And I do appreciate Meredith in this situation, because I
Oh,
feel
those are
like,
two totally different people. You got to be
no,
careful.
I know. I said Meredith. Meredith.
Meredith.
I really appreciate her in this situation. And, there hasn't been much discussion between, I think we all kind of see who Brooks is. Maybe we know, or maybe we're making our own, observations. But I just love how she
human. We
makes
don't
it
know his sexuality.
correct. But I love how she makes it so comfortable. I mean, how great to have a mom like that, where she's so open to everything, and she's so supportive of the community, which I appreciate. I mean, and it's also nice to hear a housewife like Meredith say all of the letters LGBTQIA plus instead of Larsa Pippen, who can't get past B.
Oh my God, that was cringy. That was definitely cringy. But, also for Meredith, she was giving me Heather Dubrow vibes, where I really appreciated the conversation and opening up the conversation with her kids, where it's kind of like, you love who you love, you are who you are. And if, no matter what, it doesn't matter what color, what gender, whatever, I'm always going to be here to support you. And I love you so much. And I think that's such an important conversation for them to have.
I mean, listen, when I saw these photos and they surfaced before the episode came on, I was like, I didn't know what to think. I was like, are we doing Mamma Mia the musical? Is this like an Abaca? I don't know what's happening. But when you watch it and you see it, I was like, oh, okay, this makes sense. This is when are these colors are coming back, huh?
Yes.
These like
I
neons.
thought the colors looked I mean, honestly, is this satin or silk? I thought the colors looked amazing.
I was just trying to figure out if they were pajamas or like streetwear.
I think they're streetwear pajamas. Pajamas. Like I feel like Julia Fox. Pajamas. Yes. That's what I feel like they are. Speaking of which, since we're doing Meredith Marks appreciation, because when I went to Salt Lake City, Lisa Barlow and Meredith Marks and Whitney Rose, they were all so sweet to me. I have to bring this up. Hey.
I'm just kidding. I'm just like completely silent.
Well, we had so much fun. And we went to the same place. We had so much fun the first night that we went to the same place the second night.
And that was the same place we went to, right?
It was that. I think it's called the White Horse in Salt Lake City.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Is that what it's called? The White Horse?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That sounds familiar.
Yeah. Okay. So you see where her son also, I love that Seth and Meredith are showering him with love. And then he's also like, there's so many empowering people right here. And it just feels good. So I thought the whole thing it's good, because you need moments like this on the show where it's promoting something that's good and appreciating something, as opposed to just being total dark cloud and, like a buzzkill, which
100%. And I really did think that was almost Brooks' way of sharing, his viewpoints as well. I honestly do believe the same as Meredith was saying. I don't believe you have to come out, or that you should be forced to come out. You just really are who you are. And I've always thought that's always been kind of a thing that hangs over, our heads in our community, is, you feel forced to have to come out instead of just being who you are. So right. I really did appreciate that. And I did appreciate the conversation. So one thing we've really watched too since the beginning of season 1 is how much Seth and Meredith's relationship has kind of come full circle.
Yes. Well, go ahead.
I was just going to say, even when they're just around each other, it just feels, I don't know, just more connected than they were in season 1.
Well, and you feel like too with them, it's kind of like they're on the same page now. By the way, guys, 300 in the room, smash the like button. But it seems like they're on the same page now, where they understand they're doing the show, they're a team, and it's good to know, like, whether or not they're handling stuff off of the screen. From what we know, they're not. It seems like everything's going good, and it seems like they came back together, which we've seen before with Housewives, where they split up, or they try to, see if the grass is greener on the other side, and they realize, no, just water your own at home, right? Okay, yep. Fair. And now they're portraying to us that, they have a really great family life together, which I'm all about. I think it's great. But what I wasn't all about, and I love you, Whitney, I'm sorry. Ow. I'm sorry, but this made me hit my desk.
Oh, no. Take that down, please. Like, listen, I love Whitney. I really do. But if there's something you should have learned from Ashley Darby in last season of Real Housewives of Potomac, is we do not.
How did you remember that?
We do not want to see you try to, I
They're
don't
spicing
know.
up the romance.
Okay, listen. I would just I don't know what they were trying to do. I almost threw up in my mouth maybe 4 times during this.
Okay,
And
that's so mean.
I'm sorry. It just was so it was weird.
I mean, Whitney was turning on her sexual game with this outfit and she was doing a body painting and it came
I
off
mean,
a little
I
cringe, but she was
guess.
trying. Listen, she's like, I'm going to make sure that I spice things up in the bedroom. Justin, you'll remember why you took me home from the office, boy.
Justin, please just keep your clothes on until the lights are off. We don't need to see that on camera.
Okay. What if somebody said that to you?
And then I would probably keep my clothes on until the lights are off. All right, listen. I know what I can and can't do, and that is something I'm not going to be doing.
Okay. Okay. Let's keep it moving. We're at Lisa.
No, but can we talk about that for a second? Because I'm like, what? That we've seen Whitney do this before. We've seen some of the other housewives. I mean, we went through them, right? When we were talking about this, Ashley, Darby, Ramona, you know, where you see them try to like
Judge,
turn on their
Kenya Moore,
their
Portia
other
Williams.
halves, and I'm like, did Whitney watch this on another franchise and think this was cute? Because this has happened before, and it just was kind of.
Well, you know what's funny is Jen Shah is pointing out a couple things that they've copied her on this season 2, like when Heather screamed across the table and she's like, I'm sorry you slept with you married your step granddaddy. And Jen's like, girl, I've been there, done that. And then of course we'll get to the fact that Jennie went through the glass tonight and she's like, also been there, done that. And that was weak. I think my glass went further, but we'll get to all of that.
Made me laugh.
We've definitely seen the moments before, but honestly, at the same time for Whitney, we're going to get those moments no matter what. This is a couple, and the producers, I'm sure, do want to see intimate moments at times with the couples and see, like, you know, they need content, and this is a part of the content.
Again, though, Adam, and maybe this just ruined it for me because, like I said, there's always Ladies of London is playing on the background of our house when there's nothing else on. I don't know why. It just pops up. It must know me. But like you would never see those ladies do that. And an intimate moment with their husbands or others would just be like a quiet conversation on the side that's interesting. Not like I need to dress up like a clown and put on the circus. Do you know what I mean? Right. We don't need that. We don't need that. I want to see intimate moments where you're having a conversation about your relationship, sipping wine by the fire and maybe making out. That's good enough for me. I don't need all of the nakedness.
Okay. Liz said, hi. Finally, my first live. So happy to be here. So ready for the reunion. Thank you so much, Liz. We appreciate the super chat. Glam Beauty by Audra S. SLC won't be the same without Mary and Jen Shah for sure. What we'll be watching next season. Jen Shah will be on next season. Mary will not. But we don't know if Jen Shah won't be on future seasons. We don't know what's going on yet because she still has to go to court. And like she said at the reunion, it is innocent until proven guilty. Let's move on, though. We're at Lisa's 80s theme, but it's not a theme because she doesn't like a theme party. Vita Tequila party, but it's not a Vita Tequila party, but it's showing off this embellished Vita Tequila bottle, which, by the way, I want one so bad. We have the
need to like reach out
Blanco
immediately and be like, whatever you gave us was like last season. I need the new upgraded bottle.
Yes.
The Vita Tequila meets Saved by the Bell party. I was here for it.
I love that nobody shows up with a gift until one person does, and they brought the gift, and she's like, you didn't have to do that, but I'm glad you did.
Yeah.
Like, okay, Lisa Barlow. But I thought that, everybody looked great for this theme party, and, okay. I mean, honestly, I thought that some of them even looked better than the reunion looks, and I'm not
they've looked better than the reunion looks all season. They just have to wear anything else except all of those.
Okay. Now, Mary Cosby, and I'm not at this moment yet, but she kind of looks awkward and she thinks that, this is one thing that I didn't like about her, but she's entitled to her opinion, right? So can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
Okay. She's entitled to her opinion. And I don't like the fact that, to each their own. They have bashed Mary's church on the show. They've called it an alleged cult. They've said a lot of things about this church. So I get that part. But then when she says that the Vita Tequila tastes like water and it has a nasty aftertaste, I hate tequila. Hate tequila. And I thought it was so smooth. And you always told me when I was growing up in my 20s that a good tequila, you don't really have to mix with other things like, soda or grapefruit or pineapple, whatever. A good tequila, you can kind of just sip and you don't really want to taint it with something else. And when I was trying Vita Tequila, yeah, And that's how, remember when Denise Richards would always come into Pump or Tom Tom, and she would always just have a reposado. I think she would have a couple ice cubes, or she would have it neat with the side of a couple ice cubes. But she always just drank it straight, and that was her go-to drink. And for the Vita Tequila, I wouldn't mix that with anything. I thought it was absolutely delicious, and I'm not gunning for, Lisa and Vita Tequila, because if I didn't like it, I would just be honest about it.
Yeah, this is not a paid promotion.
Yeah,
it was actually good. I mean, listen, guys, I got schooled, from dissing the tequila for the past like 8 months, and then all of a sudden Lisa came on my channel and we did a tasting. She really educated me. And I didn't know this. She's been working on this for 18 years, this tequila.
Right.
And it's not at all bad. I wouldn't lie. I compared it to the Rock's Terramana, when we were doing that. And I don't know. I really enjoyed it.
For Deborah, she said she does not have to like the tequila, Adam. That's Mary's opinion. No, I completely agree with that. And like I said, they've talked about her church, so she's entitled.
I don't see Mary as a big tequila drinker anyway.
Yeah. So, and you know what? Just because I like the tequila or Jason likes the tequila doesn't mean that you're going to like the tequila. Everybody has a different palate. So I'm not bashing Mary at all. I think,
listen, but Mary, this is again my issue. I love Mary's nuances, and she's really grown on me this season. And yes, I'm probably going to miss her the most next season. However, it's every time Mary arrives, she looks lost. She doesn't want to be there. She's not engaging. She's not trying. And I think at a certain point, the other ladies stop engaging as well.
Right. I agree with that. I think that they stop engaging as well. And, for Mary, again, this is the thing that I'm going to say is like, do I think it was nice to bash somebody's brand that they work so hard to even have it at an event that they're filming? Because they all know it's the finale party. No, but also if you guys are going to talk about her church, which is also her business, then that's fair game. So I'm not mad at Mary at all. You talked about her church. She's talking about your tequila. It is what it is. Can we move on?
Yeah. At least, yeah. Okay.
All right. Patricia said, I'm going to miss Mary too. All right. So Meredith and Mary are the last to arrive. But when Meredith arrives, Heather Gay was taken aback because she immediately walks up to Lisa Barlow. They're like, hi. Oh my God. I love that. You look so good. Wow. Oh my gosh. We all look so good. I love that. And they're hugging each other. And Heather Gay is like, what the f is happening here?
Listen, when Meredith walked in, two things. There was tension. You could just feel the energy like totally shifted. But at the same time, Lisa didn't miss a beat. She went straight up to her. But I'm sitting there thinking the same as Heather. Like, you don't know there's a problem? Like,
yeah, well, like Heather said, they're kind of like portraying themselves like in the land of make-believe. And she's like, there's a lot of deep-rooted shit in this relationship and friendship. Like, there's some stuff that they keep sweeping under the rug that maybe they shouldn't, which is absolutely true because that hot mic moment where there was a boom mic, not a boom mic, whatever it was, it still came out of Lisa Barlow's mouth. She still said that her whole family is fake and phony. She called her WHORE, said she half of New York, said that, the reason they can't afford a house is because her husband can't hold a job. She said so much in that moment. You can't pretend like you're best friends. Like you wouldn't really do that to a best friend, whether you're heated or not. And I love the fact that Lisa Barlow is going to justify this. And I'm not bashing Lisa Barlow. Again, thank you for the tequila. And I love her on the show. And I haven't met her, but I like her. But, we heard Meredith say on Watch What Happens Live that the reason that Lisa justified this in her whole hot mic moment was because she heard that Meredith said that she didn't like her house, which would not justify not one of the things that she said. Me not liking your house is different than you telling me that I'm a WHORE, I'm half of New York, and my whole family is fake and phony.
Yikes.
It's a little much. But again, I love Lisa Barlow, but that we all have a moment of weakness. That was a moment of weakness.
Yeah. Agreed.
Kelly girl, Adam, stop coming at Mary. Please have the same energy towards these other ladies. Mary was very unproblematic, but the other ladies were. Hold Heather and Whitney accountable for their BS. Kelly girl, I'm not finished yet. That's it. So no. I'm not finished, but you'll see what I have to say because I'm not done. But thank you for chiming in. Finley, thank you for the super sticker. I appreciate you. And I'm not being sassy. I swear. I'm just saying I'm not finished and I'm not coming at Mary. I'm giving everybody the same smoke all the way across the board. So hold on. Let's get back into it. Now, when Mary's kind of looking awkward, I don't know if you guys caught the moment, but Coach Shah was looking at her. Kelly girl's not going to like this. Coach Shah was looking at her and saying, thank you for inviting my wife to your church in front of the congregation, everybody was so nice and sweet to her in a moment that she really needed that, which I do have to applaud Mary for, because not only did she do this for Jen, where it seemed like a lot of people, you know, showed her love in a time where she really needs it, but also on season 1, they did the same for Whitney's dad when he was dealing with his sobriety journey. So that was 2 moments that I really appreciated. But when Coach Shah is giving her this compliment, she looks at him and says, you know why? You know why they all showered her with love and treated her that way? It's because I told them to, and they listened to me. And I was like, now you lost me again.
You know, there was, you know, a lot of people saying that, you know, that whole, when they filmed at her church, which felt very produced, and they were definitely trying to make it look a certain way. What was that? When Jen went to the church?
Right.
Remember? Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, someone did point out that it was Mother's Day, but then when they replay things going back, listen, I've grown up around many religions, Mormon being the biggest one, Judaism, Catholicism. I've never seen someone praise their pastor or leader the way that, you know, they praise Mary, like she's the end all be all. And that's what gives me vibes. I'm not saying it's a cult at all, whatsoever. You know, people will choose to pray and go to church how they choose, but
Right.
it comes off a little iffy.
And to be fair too, though, when they were all giving her compliments, like you said, it was on Mother's Day, and I'm sure this was a 2 to 4 hour service that they showed us 4 minutes of. So I'm sure they took the most cringy sound bites and clips that they could to piece it together to play into this narrative of being an alleged cult. Like, Bravo knows what they're doing. They still have to put on a show, and I feel like that's exactly what they did. Guys, again, 350 in the room. Don't forget to smash that like button. But let's move on, because this is a lot. Now,
you know, someone said in the chat too, Mary is leaving us wanting more. And what a note to leave on, though. I do have to say, she kind of left on the high note, like, we're really gonna miss her.
Right. I think the same thing. I'm gonna miss her. But hold on, real quick. Moving on now, Jennie. I really disagreed with Jennie. Jennie Nguyen in this moment, because thank you for the super sticker, Finley, by the way. Because she was saying that Mary should have the common decency and say hi when she sees somebody in a room. And you see they're both kind of awkwardly not talking to each other. They're sitting there. Nobody's really talking to either one of them. But
Jennie
also
was eyeing her the whole time. She could have easily walked over to Mary
and say hi.
Hello.
It goes both ways.
Right.
Why don't you go over and say hi? You didn't want to say hi because you were looking for a moment all night, which we'll eventually get to. But, you know, Mary did say in her confessional, yeah, I didn't say hi to her. I didn't say hi to her on purpose. I was doing it on purpose. What do you want from me? And I was like, okay. At least she said it. Now, moving on, we get Whitney Rose, and we love a good Whitney moment. Hey, girl. Whitney's apologizing to Mary for inviting Jen, she's apologizing to Mary for calling her church a cult, and she keeps on trying to apologize. And Mary's like, "What do you want? Why are you drunk again? Why do I always get a drunk Whitney?" And she's like, "It's a Vita Tequila party. So what do you want me to do? It's a tequila party." And she's like, "Okay, I don't have time for this." And then Whitney's like, "Please, can I talk to you? Can I talk to you?" And eventually Jen Shah and Jennie Nguyen, the women, want to know, what do you want to apologize to her for? And she's like, "Well, because I called her church a cult." And I love when Jen's like, is it not?
Wait,
and
is
I'm
it
like,
not? Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Okay. But she wanted to apologize to them, or to Mary. And when she's sitting there, you see her talking to Mary, and then you see behind her Jen and Jennie, and they're of course trying to sit there and listen in, just like Salt Lake City Housewives, when Gia and Joe Giudice are going at it, and all of the women are like, what's happening, let's run over there. They are all so nosy, but this is their job. This is what they're contractually obligated to do, is get in there, get in the drama, and secure their spot for the next season. So Jen and Jennie walk up, and they're sitting on the couch, and they're like trying to listen in. And Jen's like, I can't hear anything. And Jennie is trying her damnedest to hear one thing that Mary is saying. That way she can chime in. Mary says, it's not in me to be a mean person. I'm not a mean person. And all of a sudden, Jennie takes that and runs with it. And boom, we get like a whole saga, which I was like,
wild. The one person I'm not going to miss, not just for her posts, because that is already, dismissible and she should be way gone. But her looking for these moments, and Jennie's like the worst, I think, this season. Because this was a moment that we really didn't need.
Right. I thought it was, by the way, this is true too. Johnny Tsunami, I didn't even notice Jennie didn't have a closing sentence freeze frame. Yeah, she did not. They made sure that whatever that was, they took that out of there.
Because it would have been one word, fired.
Yeah. Bye, Jennie. But no, I felt like I'm not going to miss Jennie. Janelle said, I can't stand Mary, but I would not give these women the time of day either. Jazz said, I completely agree with all of that. If I were Mary, I think it takes such a big person. First of all, Jennie was so relentless. She was talking about how she went to anger management. Those classes did not pay off. Let me say that, because the way she's pursuing Mary's disengaging. She's not saying anything. She's saying, I don't want to talk to you. Who's talking? She's like an aunt. I don't want to engage with her. And that's all she's saying. And she's pretty much letting her know, stop trying to talk to me. I don't want to talk to you. Jennie is not letting this go. She gets up, she chases her through the party, which was absolutely absurd. And she continues to chase after her. And finally, when Mary's walking out and she's just like, I don't know what's happening, you see Jennie Nguyen slam a glass on the floor, which I thought was absolutely ridiculous and uncalled for. And honestly, again, I have to give credit to Mary for being able to walk away from that situation, because I don't know if I would have been able to walk away from it.
The thing is, like, for Jennie, you're at someone else's event. Who acts like that? Like, really, who does act like that? I know you're a housewife and stuff, but it's just too much, like way too much. But Mary brought up a good point in her confessional, like, where are my friends? Why did no one say anything or come stand up for me? And they didn't. Not one woman did, or not one of the ladies did. And then Lisa comes over to kind of almost console Jennie at one point and is like, oh yeah, don't worry about it. It's fine. Just don't throw the, crystal encrusted bottles.
Tequila bottle.
What about Mary? Like, all right, bye. But
yeah,
then again, it on the flip side, Mary doesn't really want to be anywhere. So it's like, at this point, it's like, do you go after her? And
I was shocked that at least I would have thought that Meredith would have maybe went after her, but I honestly, listen, at the end of the day, everyone's an adult. So if you choose to leave the party, it doesn't mean that somebody's going to always come running after you. I did feel bad for her that nobody went to check on her, especially Lisa Barlow, because it was her party. But when Jennie Nguyen was like, I'm sorry, I shouldn't have broke the glass. And she's like, why are you sorry? Don't be sorry. Just don't break the crystal bottle. I'm like, I wouldn't necessarily lead with that. But hold on, it keeps going. It keeps going. We're about to round this up, guys. 360 in the room. Smash that like button. Now, we see where the women are all standing together around one of these like tall cocktail tables. And Whitney, we love a good drunk Whitney moment. We've gotten a few of them in the last couple episodes.
We know when Whitney's drunk, her eyes blink a lot slower. And when her and Heather are drunk together, they make bad weather.
I love the good bad weather drunk moment, and I think that they do great with each other. I don't know, they're hilarious to me. But when she's drunk, she's like sitting around and she's like, listen, why can't we all just be friends? Here they are, bad weather, pixelated, but that's them. And this was also our church moment. But why can't we all just be friends? Are we all friends here, guys? Are we? And they're all like kind of yes, we'll be friends. Jennie's looking to the side like, this girl, shut up. And Meredith is like, And then finally, Jen Shah looks at Meredith and she's like, like, Meredith, are we real friends or are we fake friends? What's going on? And she lets her know the amount of hurt that I feel you have caused me and my family. I am not at a place where I want to 100% be there for you or call you a real friend. I will be here. We will film together, but I don't need you calling me every night and like leaning on me. I'm not a shoulder to cry on for you right now. I'm not at that point because I still feel a certain type of way about
the pain and trauma that you brought to my family, which listen, if we can leave that behind in season 2 as well, I'm so over the Jen Meredith drama, the Brooks and Jen thing. Like, this has to be like let go of.
I mean,
it's just like too much.
Listen, I agree.
Too much for my dogs at this point.
It was a lot, and it felt like it was never ending, but finally Meredith is getting worked up. I feel like she kind of feels like she's backed into a corner at this point, and you see her getting pissed off, and she finally says, you know what? You guys want to talk about things? You brought up my husband and my marriage last year. And Jen looks at Whitney and goes, that was her. And Whitney's like, wait, this was not me. This is, they all play the blame game and blame the wrong people for the wrong shit all of the time, which I love because shady editing, we always get it back. but you know, blames Whitney, and then Meredith is like, I have shit on everyone. You guys want me to bring out your dark secrets? I know about a couple of extramarital affairs here, and not everyone's innocent. And I get people who send me shit all the time. So unless you want that to come out, yes, me and my husband were seeing other people. Surprise, as she's walking out and you see Heather Gay, the only thing she was missing was the meat lollipop there. And she's watching them walk out like, what the just happened? And then you see Jen, and as Meredith's walking out and disengaging, she's like, why do we give Mary a ton of shit for walking out and we're not holding Meredith accountable? I don't agree with that. And I'm like, okay, well, this is the finale, so we needed something, Jen.
We needed something for this 6 of an episode.
For this 6 of an episode.
This 6 of a finale that we've been waiting for all season. Again, it's been like a roller coaster since the beginning of the season. You never know if you're just going to be like going up the hill really slowly, and then all of a sudden you fall on that first hill, and then we're kind of back to going up the hill again.
Right. Since I have not seen it yet, Norma Maldonado said, did Meredith wear those silk PJs? I want a pair.
Everyone thinks they're pajamas.
I want a pair too.
I'm not the only one. They're not pajamas though, are they? I can't tell if they're pajamas or streetwear.
Oh my God, I would wear that on our 3-city tour. I would totally
do
wear
nothing
that.
of the sort, but yeah, no.
I would totally wear it and then just like show some boobs, like some chest.
I guess.
I would do that. Okay, at least I'm not doing this on camera.
No, this never needs to happen ever again in my life. I can never watch that ever again.
Okay, so guys, let's get into because we're over 42 minutes in. We're gonna cap this off soon, but I do want to see in the live chat what everybody's looking forward to. We have the reunion coming up, and it looks explosive. I'm gonna start from the left and make my rounds right here. Lisa Barlow ends up storming off the set after being called out for her hot mic moment, and Andy Cohen actually asked her, "Do you think that Meredith is a WHORE?" She was like, no, it was just a moment that I'm disappointed in. I wish it wouldn't have happened. And I feel like the producers were trying to portray me like I was on some sort of rant. Well, Lisa Barlow, that's exactly what it sounded like.
Yeah, but you know, when you're filming a reality show and this is your second season with Bravo, you have to know what to expect. If there's a mic and a producer in a room, they'll use all the audio they can.
Yes. Dooley Scoot. Jen's assistant was wearing a #Justice for Jen Shah t-shirt. Yes, I saw that. Lisa walking off. Thank you for the super chat, by the way. Thank you for Adam for showing that picture again. I'm going to have nightmares. You guys are shady.
You and me both.
Can we stop showing the naked house husbands? Not a good look. Okay, guys, I'll stop.
Yeah, these are not the house. These are not the house husbands to show, you know, without clothes on. This isn't Jersey, or I'm trying to think of another franchise where it would be acceptable.
With clothes on.
Yeah, that's fine, but we're not doing the whole Justin Whitney thing. No.
I can't with Meredith's crotch in that reunion pic. Okay, so I think Meredith actually, she's gotten a lot of flack for this reunion look, but I believe her son had a hand in designing it. Meredith also is having to, mind you guys, she just heard this hot mic moment for the first time 24 hours before showing up to the reunion, because they got all of the episodes, like the last 5 or 6 episodes before they filmed the reunion. They got them all the night before and they had to watch all of them. It was kind of like their homework. So she only found out about this right before. Now, Jen Shah, it was interesting because Andy Cohen is asking her, so one charge has 20 years in prison. The other charge has 30 years in prison. So that's 50 years. She's like, I don't know. He's like, you don't know what your charges are? And then he's questioning Coach Shah about money, which
that's crazy.
It made everybody cringe. I mean, I'm not going to lie.
I mean, listen, I'm looking forward to the reunion for, partially that reason. I also want to see kind of what kind of reconciliation, if any, we'll get between Meredith and Lisa.
Right. I mean, I agree with Janelle on this too. I'm not sure what to look forward to for the reunion. I wish it was just 2 parts, but the third part better be dedicated to Jen. Okay. I mean, listen, I'm just glad it's not a 4-part reunion. So this didn't need to be. You gave us maybe 7 good episodes out of the 20. We don't need to sit here and relive the entire season. Right. Then you see where Jen was like, I feel like people right now are kind of looking at me like, you should be so lucky if I'm your friend, because right now you need friends. And Heather calls out Jen and she's like, wait a minute, hold on. You've thrown me under the bus and I've been a good friend to you and you've shit on me. So then we're going to get that moment. Then you also see Jennie win out of nowhere saying that Meredith has been mean to her this season, which I really didn't understand. But I guess it's because she was friends with Meredith and not really, or friends with Mary, not really sticking up for Jennie. But come on, this is another reach on Jennie Wynn's side.
A reach with Jennie.
It was a reach with Jennie. And
is it true we're going to see a little bit of her at the beginning of the 3rd season?
I don't know if they'll edit it out or not. She filmed the first couple days of the first week.
Yeah, I wonder if we're going to see that or if they're just going to leave that alone.
Well, I mean, we'll see. But they actually, it was said by one of the housewives, and I don't know, I think she took it down, so I'm not going to say her name, but she said that they were calling her out about her post on camera. So I think that they addressed her on camera, and then finally after, Bravo decided to make the announcement that she was going to be fired. So I don't know if they strategically did that to have her answer for it on camera and then cut her out, or...
But by the time the next season rolls around, are we going to want to...
I hope they don't rehash it because
talk about it, and are we going to want to see Jennie? Are we just going to want to start new and afresh? I mean, we have obviously a new housewife to introduce, I would assume, or two.
We have two.
So, I think it would be time well spent to focus on that and let Jennie peace out.
Right. And I don't think it would be good for the network to bring that up and hash all of that out over again. And then you see, to end us off, Whitney Rose, who is saying that she had a conversation with Cameron. I believe that's who she's talking about, before he passed, and how he was explaining that he had, an actual relationship with Mary, which we've heard some of her family members come out and say before. Obviously, unfortunately, Cameron has passed, so I don't really want to touch on that too much. But Lisa tried to shut down the conversation by saying, listen, she talked to him for like 2 minutes, and she's like, let me speak. You weren't there. And I was like, go on, Whitney, reach down there and get the rasp in your voice, because we need something from you. Get the rasp, because she's not drunk at the reunion. If she's not a drunk Whitney, then she's not going to be, she gets nervous. She has to have a couple shots to work herself up to say the shit she wants to say.
Like we saw at Jen's party.
For Coach Shah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Let's see what everyone's saying in order to cap us off. Lisa versus Meredith is what I'm looking forward to. Yeah, Jen stuff will be interesting, but it's so much. Also curious how they'll discuss Mary. I agree with that, but they will still have to discuss Mary because she is part of the show. And that's why Andy Cohen said to Mary that you should probably come because you're letting other people control your narrative. So,
well, even tonight, watch What Happens Live, when Tamra Judge brought up Mary's church, Andy quickly moved on from that question.
Yeah.
From that statement she was making.
Yep. Exactly. All right, guys. Well, at the top of the live chat, I have, well, before we go, Jason, what are you looking forward to out of all of that?
I'm honestly just like, hold on, I'm sorry. Just like Liz said, I really am just looking forward to seeing the Meredith and Lisa drama. We've been built up for these 2 seasons that they're the best of friends for, 10 plus years, and they're like sisters. And now just things, I don't know what would prompt Lisa to, even hot mic or not, say those things if you're so close, like sisters for 10 years. So I want to see how this kind of comes to fruition, if we will get any reconciliation. I mean, I have to agree with Meredith here, though. It wasn't really what she said. I mean, yes, it was what she said, but the tone, what did she say? It was the venom that was coming from the tone in which Lisa was speaking was so harsh. And
right.
It was very authentic. It was very genuine. Those feelings sounded very real. So I really want to see where they could go from this and how they will possibly be friends again.
Okay. All right. And I have a feeling I don't think we get that resolution at the reunion, but we'll see going into the new season. And for me, honestly, I want to see the Lisa Barlow storming off. I also want to see the conversation with Jen Shah. I want to see what Whitney has to say about Mary. I want to see all 3 parts. So with that, guys, I pinned at the top of the live chat, and I also reposted it. Tomorrow, I'm doing my 9:30 a.m. Wake Up and Adam morning show, which we have a lot of great topics to talk about. So wake up with me and my 4 shots of espresso, and we'll do this all over again. And then, of course, we said this at the beginning of the live, but we're sending Jason and his family a lot of love right now. And Jason will be going out of town to Idaho from Monday to Friday. So maybe at some points we'll get him on here if he wants to come on. But if he doesn't, then just know that you'll see Jason not this week, most likely, but the week after.
Yeah. And I do want to say thank you to everyone, too, who's been reaching out on social media and stuff. It means a lot. So yeah, I appreciate it.
We love Grandma. So with that, guys, we'll be back in the morning. I love you guys. Thank you to all of our amazing mods. Hi, Marie. I hope your leg is healing better. Hi, everybody, and good night. Good night to everybody, even though over in California, what time is it? It's only 8 o'clock. Yeah, we're going to bed. Good night, guys. We love you. Thank you for the super chats, super stickers. Thank you to our mods. Thank you to everybody who was in the live chat. And don't forget to go click on the link right here. That way you guys can wake up with us tomorrow, or me tomorrow. And don't forget to smash that like button. It's so important. And if you're not subscribed to Jason on Down with Jason, go get subscribed. Jason, did I miss anything?
Nope, that's it.
Bye, guys.
Say your prayers. Say your prayers for the reunion.
Say your prayers for the reunion. Bye, guys. Love you.